Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm quite nervous because it's my first video that I do on this platform. I'm kind of used to do it on TikTok, is where I kind of started, but to be honest, I always loved YouTube. So I decided that this year was going to be the year where I would try and make videos and enjoy this experience, and hopefully meeting many people there. I can actually share my love for books, because to be honest, TikToks are nice, are fine, but they're too short, and if I want to talk quite a lot about specific book or whatever, people would not actually follow it, because the kind of like span of what you actually like listening and stuff like that, it's kind of short. So instead, on YouTube you can actually watch as many minutes and hours of a video. My name is Ottavia, and yes, like I said, I have a TikTok channel called Ottavia's World _, and I'm excited to do this. So I think, we're in February and I'm starting a little bit late. I wanted to start in January, but I wasn't really like there yet, and I wanted to show you the books that I actually read in January, so like this you kind of know what kind of books and style I might like. And of course later on you will kind of see maybe in different videos more my genre, but preferably the genre that I love is fantasy, or high fantasy. I do love a romantasy, but I prefer romantasy where it has a little bit more plot to it. But yeah, I'm gonna show you now the book that I read, which I read 6 books in the month of January, and I was really happy because I read some good ones. See, the first one is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is like the first book, kind of. There's a prequel that I actually bought, and that is about the story that happens prior, of course, to all of this, and then also another book that I think is in between the prequel and this one coming out this year. And it's an 800-page book, and it was really intimidating. I had this one for a long time and I was really afraid of actually getting into it, but I'm so happy that I did, because I really enjoyed it. I'm sure everyone knows what it is about because it's been a little bit around for a few years, but if you don't know, it's like a high fantasy book, and there's dragons in it. And it's basically this world where this enemy is rising again, and it's kind of like the story is kind of divided in like south, west and east, and we don't see anything about the north. I don't know why, unless the north they consider a different one, but I'm not sure because I've never heard anyone talking about the north. But anyway, that's fine. And the main thing is that this world is divided, so there's no connection must from between the east, the west and the south. There's a queendom that doesn't have an heir, and then, like I said, an enemy that is basically awakened. It's a book that is divided like in 4 point of views, and I enjoyed 3 out of the 4, just because I didn't connect with one of them, because I didn't like the character, which I understand, because actually this character wasn't supposed to be like the hero or the person that you want to follow, but at the same time it was really good to see the point of view of this person. To be honest, I always say, like, especially also to other people when I read this book, to not go into it knowing much about it. You just need to get into it. And what I loved about it is the way that Samantha Shannon describes everything, and the politics and the drama involved. I loved also the romance, which it wasn't really prominent, but it was just so refreshing. And there's also like a sapphic love story, and it was really beautiful. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that I actually gave this one 4.5 star. I couldn't give it a 5 because you read more than 800 pages, and the actual last part, which is the battle, which is the most important part, is so fast and so quick, and you're like, so I read 750 pages to just have this last 50 pages going like this so fast. So I was like, no. And also the description, I didn't get it, what was happening, because this battle was done in a certain area, and when I was trying to imagine it, I just didn't get it. There was, yeah, I just didn't get it. So that's why I couldn't give it the last 0.5 star that is missing with 4.5 stars. My favorite character, I think, is Eid, or Ead. It's written EAD. I think she was super cool, and I really loved her as a character and what she's doing in here. And she was one of my favorite. But I'm gonna continue. I don't think I will read a prequel anytime soon because it's still, it's still gonna be 800 pages, and I'm just so happy that I accomplished this one in January. Then, of course, since I was reading this one, I needed to read something a little bit more, less heavy, let's say, and I decided to read a manga, and I read A Story of Seven Lives, the complete manga collection, story and art by Shirakawa Jin, and it's basically a story about cats, the secret life of cats, and it was so moving. I cried so much, and I read it in just one sitting. It's like 400 pages, but as a manga, it's basically nothing. And it was so beautiful. I had to give it 5 star. I have to give it 5 star because it kind of touched me so much in my soul and in my heart. And it's about basically this cat that has this color, and you basically understand the story of why this cat is basically living with the other stray cats. Love and hate for humans, and try to find love in that way, and it was stunning. I loved it, and I think everyone should read it, even if you don't like cats. But it's just a really beautiful story. So I did enjoy that one. Then I read To Shatter the Night by Catherine Quinn. This is the last of his duology. This is the second book in the Mistland duology by Catherine Quinn, and the first one is called To Kill a Shadow. And I remember when I read To Kill a Shadow, I loved it. I didn't give it a 5 star, I give it I think a 4.5, and just love the premises of it, which is basically in this world there for more than 50 years, the sun hasn't risen in a long time. The god of the sun, it's not there anymore. And so basically in this world, there's of course an enemy that doesn't want the sun to rise again. And on the other side, there's people that are trying to find person that actually has the light within themselves. And this one was a good conclusion to the actual duology. I prefer the first one better than this one, but I still give it a 4 star. And it's a book that I haven't heard anyone talking about, and it's so sad because it's like, if you want a duology, why not try this one? So I would recommend this one. I don't want to go too much in details, but I love the main character, and I loved also how they changed so much from the first book to the second one. There's a really good growth and redemption with some of them. The thing is that this author likes to basically, let's say, out of the blue, some characters may not actually arrive to the end. And she really likes doing that, especially in the first one. It was just like one after one after one, and it keeps you on your toes. And but I'm happy that I finished this one. And then I actually read 3 books on my ebook, and I actually managed to read 3 books from Akata. And the story with me and Akata and Sajimas is that I've never completed the series of Akata or even Chronoglass. I know, I should have done it. But for the Akata series, I remember that I read in 2016 the first and the second one, and then I never continued. And I don't know why, because I remember that I enjoyed so much the second one. And I decided this year, or actually technically last year, to start again the Akata series. And I read the first one in December, and then this year, this January, I read the second, the third, and the fourth. To be honest, I enjoyed them. And the first one, when I read it in December, I actually didn't like it as much. I gave it, I think, a 3 star. and there was something like some problems in it. I think there was the writing style as well. It wasn't really the greatest, and to be honest, I completely forgot everything about it. And I don't know if you know anything about Akata, but basically Akata, it's basically about this girl called Fairy. I hope I said the name right. That she basically kills by mistakes an animal that is actually not an animal, it's actually a fae. So the High Lord of the Spring Court follows her to where she lives with the two sisters and a dad in poverty, and takes her to basically live with him in the Spring Court. And the people of Spring Court are actually wearing this mask because there has been basically an enchantment from this horrible person that basically is in control of all the courts in this Fey realm. And it's a good concept. I didn't like the first one when I reread it, but I did enjoy the first one, so the second one. So the second one is A Court of Mist and Fury, and then the third one is A Court of Wings and Ruin, and then the novella is A Court of Frost and Light. I had to read it just because I forgot. I forgot the names. They're too long. Like all of this series, the names are too long. But I can say that the second one I actually gave 3.5 star, and then the third one I gave it 4 star, and I gave the same 4 star the novella, just because it was quite touching for a few areas. One thing that I don't like about Sarah J. Maas is that sometimes she's not really too descriptive, but sometimes she puts random things in there that I'm like, I don't need it for the plot. I don't think there's, like, you want to create a book that is more than 500 pages, but just give me more facts, just give me more things. So just don't let it go with other situations and explaining or adding up, because after that it gets a little bit boring in a way. I love Fairy's growth so much, and Reason as well. I mean, Reason is my favorite, and I remembered how I really enjoyed reading about him many years ago and reading it out again. And the only thing, of course, everyone talks about is in the second book is that they're talking about flushing the toilet, which is understandable, because in that time they shouldn't, unless the theory says a different type of things in the future. That was really weird. But I really enjoyed it, so I was really happy to read this one. I'm actually reading the fourth one still, which is the one with Nestor and Cassian, Court of Silver Flame, I think it's called. And yeah, it's going okay. Not my favorite, but yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel. I think the next one will be a wrap up, or well, actually no, a TBR for February, or something else that I might do. I'm not sure. I'm just going to go and see how it is. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.